Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I'll be playing Khazix. So Khazix is that type of jungler that is either super broken or pretty useless. It really depends on you, the user. Do you know how to play Khazix? He's gonna be really strong. Do you not know how to play Khazix and how to fully utilize his passive and his items? Then he's gonna suck ass, like really badly. So, in the beginning part of this video, I'm going to explain to you guys how to build Khazix. There's timestamps in the description if you just want to go to the gameplay. So let's get into the build. Khazix build is actually pretty simple. By the way, this, for some reason, there is a Starix Gauge here, but Starix Gauge is not supposed to be a priority item, but let me get into the build. So, basically, the way that you build Khazix is what it's called lethality Khazix, right? Like when you go for a lethality build, you go for these items that have flat armor penetration. A common misconception about these items is that it has armor penetration, so it's good against tanks. No. These two items are the worst items that you could possibly build against tanks. These items are meant to demolish squishy enemies, especially in the early game. What it means a squishy enemy may have like 40 armor. So what these items are gonna do is it's gonna shred 15 plus 10 is 25 of that 40 armor. So instead of 40 armor, they're gonna have 15 armor. So if you compare that with percentage armor penetration, like the Cerulea's Grudge, which penetrates 30% of the armor, if you would have gotten that against the 40 armored enemy, it only penetrates 12 armor. So it only penetrates 12 compared to the 25 of these two items combined. So just explaining the common misconception, right? So the whole point of Khazix is with these two items, you demolish the enemy. Like first item, Duskblade of Draktar. This item, Khazix basically already has an integrated Duskblade of Draktar. His passive, whenever you're unseen to the enemy, you know, whenever they can't see you, you get bonus damage on your next basic attack. Add the Duskblade of Draktar to that, then your next attack is gonna have even more bonus damage. And it's gonna root the enemy in place for 0.25 seconds. Incredibly powerful. Like this is the best item that you can go for on Khazix. Also gives you a lot of attack damage. Just go for the Duskblade of Draktar as your first item. Make sure you get at least tier 1 boots as your second item after your Duskblade of Draktar. Then you go for the Yumo's Ghostblade. Yet again, like full lethality. At this point, you're gonna have 25 flat armor penetration. You're pretty much gonna one-shot their squishies. Like if you get these items a little early on, you're gonna absolutely one-shot them. It's crazy. So after that, make sure you get the Iona Boots of Lucidity. I mean, you could go for Mercury Sweats. The reason that I almost never go for Mercury Sweats on Khazix is because of his ultimate. Like, even if you get stunned, you can just use his ultimate to kinda escape. But, you know, if they really have a lot of CC, you could go for the Mercury Sweats. Otherwise, just stick with the Hunter Titan. It's generally gonna be okay for Khazix. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a skin giveaway again this month. I almost forgot to say, I'm giving away 15 skins. Yes, I brought it back, baby. All you have to do to enter the skin giveaway is put down a comment under the video, guys. I brought it back, so you know, put down a comment under the video if you want to enter. And it's gonna go throughout the month, just like I've always done. So third item, Cerulea's Grudge. This item is gonna give you the slow, damaging active abilities, so your first ability especially, or empowered attacks, slow enemies by 30%. Oh my god, this item is good on Khazix. It's absolutely amazing. Enemies can't escape from you. Like, they can only fight back against you when you have the Cerulea's Grudge on Khazix. They literally cannot escape because you're gonna perma-slow them. Absolutely incredible item. You always want to get this as your third item. Even if the enemy doesn't have any armor, you still get this item. Trust me, just get it. It's absolutely incredible. Fourth item, you go for a Guardian Angel. Or you can go for the Maw of Marmortius. Maw of Marmortius, only go for this item if the enemy has like 3 ability power champions. You know, if they have like a Lux support, Evelyn jungle, and then Ahri mid lane, boom, you slap the Maw of Marmortius in your build and you're gonna be incredibly tanky against those champions as well. So last item, Starix Gauge. However, be very careful. If you do build the Maw of Marmortius, do not build the Starix Gauge as well. Like, let me show you. This build is wrong, okay? If you build the Maw of Marmortius fourth item, you get the Guardian Angel last item. Why? Because let's take a look at the passive names. Read it out. Lifeline. You know, it says Lifeline. If we look at the Starix Gauge, it also says Lifeline, okay? So Lifeline is not gonna stack with another Lifeline. Keep that in mind. So you're literally gonna waste an item if you build these two items together. So, you know, keep that in mind. For your enchantment, Stasis Enchant is actually really good. One second. Stasis Enchant, because as a Kha'zix, you're very squishy. With the Starix Gauge and the Guardian Angel, you're going to be a little tankier, but still, you're very likely going to need the Stasis Enchant to be able to escape. Also, because your third ability is on a very low cooldown, so if you're in a lot of trouble and your third ability is on a cooldown, just use the Stasis Enchant. It's going to buy you 2.5 more seconds, so you can get that third ability off cooldown again. You can also get Teleport if necessary. You know, whenever you need to teleport to a Dragon or Baron real quick, you get a Teleport. And you know, you can also get a proto belt, I guess, not necessary because you're gonna have your resetted third ability already. Basically, just go for a stasis enchant. Okay, for the runes. So for the first rune, I used to run, where is it? Electrocute? Yeah, Electrocute. But to be honest, like, I mean, it's good actually. Like, it's good. But Conquer is like, it's such a superior rune. Like yesterday I made my Varus video and I saw some comments telling me like, you know, we know Aerie is good on Varus, but Conquer is just such a broken rune that it's always going to be worth to run Conquer. It's honestly stupid how good Conquer is. You are kind of supposed to go for Electrocute on Kha'zix because he's a burst heavy champion. And I do recommend Electrocute, but still keep in mind if the enemy is a bit squishy, a bit tankier, right? Like if you're not really going to one-shot them, then generally the Conqueror is going to be worth more. So Electrocute is going to contribute to your one-shot potential, which is going to be amazing in the mid game. However, if the enemies have tanky champions like Garen, Alistar, Leona, you name it, then it is generally going to be better to go for the Conqueror, guys. Second rune, Brutal, because you always want to get Brutal in the jungle. Third rune, generally Hunter Titan, because you don't want to get Mercury's threats on Kha'zix. Ionian Boots of Lucidity are generally going to be better. But if the enemy really doesn't have many stuns, you can actually also go for Bone Plating, especially against the Lee Sin. If you start with the Bone Plating, you can actually win the early game fight against Lee Sin, because this blocks a lot of his burst damage. So keep that in mind. But generally, Hunter Titan, just better in the late game, and it gives you a lot of tenacity. Fourth rune, always Mastermind. Kha'zix, I believe, is the fastest Dragon Taker in the game. Is he faster than Shyvana? I'm not quite sure. I haven't played Shyvana yet, but he's definitely at least the second fastest Dragon Taker. If the dragon is isolated, right? Which it is. So keep that in mind. With the Mastermind, it's going to be even faster. You can literally burst down a dragon in like 7 seconds or something. It's crazy. Maybe even faster. For your spells, you go for a Flash and a Smite. So enough about the build, let's now get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. So just for the people that skipped out the build part, I just quickly want to say that right now it's the 1st of December and I brought back the skin giveaways. That's right, I'm giving away 15 skins again throughout the whole month. All you gotta do to enter is just put down a comment under this video and under other videos that I upload on December to increase your chances of winning. So if you want to enter the skin giveaway, you know, 15 skins, all you gotta do, put down a comment under the video and you've entered. You know, just want to say that again. So in this video I'm playing Kha'zix and like, it's actually one of my favorite champions in the game, and there is a reason for it, because he's so good at assassinating champions. And so I'm gonna teach you how to play Kha'zix in this video. I mean, if you're a complete beginner, I actually recommend, like a complete beginner to Kha'zix, I actually recommend you to watch my Kha'zix guide. I have a full Kha'zix guide on my YouTube channel. And I also have more Kha'zix videos that I've uploaded a little earlier, where I explain a little more about his isolation passive, right? In this video, I'm not gonna talk too much about isolating the enemy, because I've already talked about it so much during my previous Kha'zix videos. It's kind of like a basic with Kha'zix, right? Like you have to isolate the enemies, you'll do more damage with your first ability, blah, blah, blah. So if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, I actually suggest you to go away from this video, go to some of my older Kha'zix videos where I fully explain in detail how his passive works. So let's talk about Kha'zix. So a common misconception about Kha'zix is that he falls off in the late game. I mean, it's true that he's incredibly strong in the mid game because of the lethality items, right? But he doesn't fall off in the late game. He deals so much damage that it doesn't even matter that you have flat armor penetration. It literally doesn't matter. Like, of course you're not gonna do as much damage, but in the late game you're still gonna be able to one-shot their squishies. Also, the thing that makes Kha'zix viable in the late game as well is the evolved abilities, right? The first ability that you evolve is of course the first ability, but then the evolved third ability, that's where his real power comes in the late game, right? That kind of compensates for falling off because of the lethality build. Because if an enemy is low at like 20% or like 30% HP, you can literally jump in, kill that enemy and run away. It's that simple. Maybe even if they're on like 50% HP, you're gonna be able to kill them. He deals he deals crazy amounts of damage. So You know, in the late game, you have that potential to catch out enemies and jump back into safety. Just like, it's so easy, just like that. And then the ultimate as well, it's so powerful in the late game. And then when you combine it with the Duskblade of Draktar, as I said, even though it's a lethality item, close. Even though it's a lethality item, it is still absolutely incredibly powerful. Oh, what is happening here? Nice. I can get a kill? No, I don't have my flash anymore. Oh, nice. We got a double kill though. That's worth it. That was a good gank regardless. Like they counter ganked us, but you know, we came out on top. It was really well played by the Caitlyn and the Thresh as well. So the very first item that you want to get is the Serrated Dirk. You want to get the Serrated Dirk as fast as possible, because this item is going to give you 10 flat armor penetration, which, as I said, is like broken in the early game, and it slowly becomes worse and worse and worse because the champions are going to level up, right? The enemies are going to level up, and while they're leveling up, they're going to get more and more armor. Like base armor is going to increase. So what does that mean? Your Serrated Dirk and or your flat armor penetration is going to become worse and worse and worse. So at this point of the game, it's incredibly strong. Like, I need to abuse it. Whenever you can, get the Serrated Dirk and abuse that item. You really have to be honest. Because you can. You can. Why wouldn't you? Like, don't be farming all day with Khazix, guys. He's not like Lee Sin, right? As I said, he's still strong in the late game. But he has that crazy potential, like the crazy early game potential to deal so much damage with the flat armor penetration. And just, his first ability is honestly broken. That's like, they need to nerf that. Like for real, it's way too strong. It deals way too much damage. Like, let's take a look at what's gonna happen here. There is an isolated Twisted Fate right there, which of course I could have jumped on, but it was a little too risky because we didn't see where the Evelyn was. Look at this, just taking this thing easily. I saw the Evelyn, that's why I smited it, by the way. Otherwise I wouldn't have smited it, because I wanted to keep my smite for the dragon. But yeah, I saw the Evelyn, so I didn't want to lose that one, of course, the Scuttle Crab. The funny thing is, Khazix is also really good at outsmiting anyone. He doesn't have the very best smite, like he still gets outsmited by Lee Sin, Nunu and stuff like that. But he definitely has a big smite. Like, you know that, as you can see right now, 374 plus 680 is like an 1100 smite already. Oof. Like, the reason that I wasn't able to smite that is because I would have died otherwise. What I did was basically an emergency smite. I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna smite it and pray for the best, right? Like, that's all I could have done there, because they were bursting me down, so I had to do it. I just had to go for it. If I didn't, then, you know, Evan would have very likely gotten it. I was at least lucky that our Caitlyn got it. So now I got my Duskblade of Draktar, and as I said, Khazix already has like an integrated Duskblade of Draktar, which is his passive. When you become unseen to the enemy, you get bonus damage. So when you add the Duskblade of Draktar to it, it increases your burst damage by a lot. Boom, easy kill, just like that, by the way, look at that. Unfortunately now, as you can see, when you dive like that in the early game, you have to use your flash to go away. But in the late game, I could have gotten the kill and then jumped away. That is the thing, like it's so stupid honestly about Khazix. But of course, all these big powers come with a cost, guys. There is so much that Khazix sucks at. Let me tell you, first of all, Khazix is not a tank at all. Like, he's so incredibly squishy, he's not tanky at all. Like, you cannot tank at all, so keep that in mind. Secondly, in the late game, you're not gonna have any presence in fights. You're an assassin, so what's gonna happen is your team is gonna be forced into a 4 versus 5 situation, and you just have to try to pick out enemies that get low. But what does that mean? Of course, that your team is fighting in a 4 versus 5. So the enemy has an advantage up until you're able to assassinate someone. So of course that can be, you know, it can suck a lot for your team. Look at that. Using the Duskblade of Draktar and my ultimate, and my passive to just demolish them right there. Of course he's here, really? By the way, guys, make sure you give this video a like as well. You know, it helps with the channel algorithm, blah, blah, blah. If you want to support the channel, make sure you give the video a like. By the way, guys, don't get sad. I am working on the AP Ezreal video. I like, you know, sometimes it takes a little more time to make certain videos. I'm working on it, okay? I haven't forgotten it. I'm working on it. For the lovers of Ezreal, you know, don't get upset. It's okay. It'll be fine. You'll get your video. Don't you worry, guys. Don't you worry. I got you covered. Oh man, I really love making videos. It's so fun. Like, it's a little weird, but I'm literally sitting here alone in my room. Well, not my room, I'm sitting in the kitchen, but you can't see that right now. Talking to my camera. No one is sitting here, but it feels like I'm talking to you guys. That's basically how I always have made my videos, since my Vainglory days, really. I always kind of, well, I don't want to say pretend, but I always think of it like, I'm just sitting here and there's so many people just watching what I say. That's why I have so much energy always, right? Like I always, like I know I'm talking to a lot of people, and I always have a lot of energy with that because it's very exciting. To me, it's very exciting to do that, to have to have a lot of people watching the videos. So, some people, like I've even had comments saying, "Man, you have such fake reactions in your videos, blah blah blah." Man, they're not okay. They're not fake. Okay, they're not fake because just look at all my videos. Do you really think I would have a fake reaction in every single video of mine? Of course not. I'm just really excited to make the videos because it makes me super happy. So, with that said, let's continue the video. Thresh MVP. Yeah, I'm playing duo queue with the Thresh, by the way. Baron Fiji is a very good friend of mine, and I'm just playing some duo queue with him. He's a nice guy, so having a lot of fun with him in the games too. Ooh, I like now the dragon is spawning very soon, but we shouldn't really do the dragon now, should we? Because like, am I gonna do it? It's kind of risky because they can come. Yeah, it's risky. Yeah, there it is. Like, she's right there. I was actually lucky that I saw her because we have a Caitlyn. Like, normally I wouldn't have gotten that free kill, but just because we have a Caitlyn, we get the free dragon right now. Like, look at how fast I take the dragon, by the way. Look at how crazy this is. I died. I screwed up. Look at that. We still got it, but I completely screwed up. Oh my god. Wow. I really screwed that one up. Damn. Wow, I really screwed that one up. I have nothing to say. Like, who? That, like, there you can clearly see that Khazix actually has quite a lot of trouble tanking up damage. Like, as I said, Khazix has incredible powers. He's very good at some things. But you can clearly see that he's lacking with the others. His tankiness is zero. He's just a little cockroach. You can step on him and he's gonna die, right? But if you ignore the little cockroach, he's gonna sneak from you up from behind and completely slit everything from you. He's gonna demolish you, right? That's kind of how Kha'zix works. So you have to play him like a cockroach too. You want to be in the places where the enemies never expect you to be. Basically like cockroaches. So you can survive and then you can get to the enemies and assassinate them when they never expect you to. Literally a cockroach. I tried to go with a blue buff here. Apparently it wasn't up. It's also nice because you have the Yumo's Ghostblade, by the way, because as a jungler with a Yumo's Ghostblade, you have a big advantage towards the other jungler because you have more movement speed. You literally have way more movement speed, so you utilize that movement speed to constantly rotate around and get your team some kills, right? You have to constantly rotate around. I have to be careful because Evelyn can actually one-shot me. Boom, look at that. And I get to reset on my third ability. You always, I actually kind of predicted that the Evelyn was going to be there and I got her. That was not lucky, I predicted it. Like, it was pretty obvious to be honest, so yeah. Are we really just going to finish the game here? We are actually going to finish the game. Two of them are on the top side of the map, look at this. We're actually going to finish the game. We finished the game. Well, that was easy. Ooh. No, never mind. Yeah. Let's take a look at how much damage I did. I'm curious. Damn, I had 39,000 blue motes. Now I have like 42,000. You got a lot of blue motes in this game. How much damage did I do? Not that much, but still a good game regardless. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this Kha'zix video. And yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.